I'm Ross Hamil, and I am the lead singer / rhythm guitar player for Labor XII. Oh, so where did I get started in music? I was born with music. My parents, they were always singing, and some of my earliest memories were actually singing church songs as soon as I was old enough to make up words that fit. And honestly, not much has changed in that realm. As far as the rock / metal / hard rock goes, one of my cousins introduced me to Aerosmith when I was in junior high, and that was just mind-blowing. I couldn't get enough of it. And then he introduced me to Collective Soul, which, another mind-blowing experience. And then after that came Creed, all from the same cousin. And Creed was a huge influence. Mark Tremonti obviously is one of my main guitar influences. And then, from there I've learned about Seether, I learned about Disturbed, and then from being a fan of Seether, I was introduced to Shinedown. I got to see them open for Seether and Three Doors Down in 2003. And it's just kind of snowballed from there. Like, Soil was a huge influence on me, Alter Bridge, and Matchbox 20, believe it or not. Those are all bands that have had huge influences on me. And Mark Tremonti with his solo project, Seven Dust, and man, there's really too many to list, but those are, some of the core bands that have been very formative for me. In high school, I knew I wanted to be in a band, and I formed a band called Moral Anxiety with some friends of mine from church, and just the name alone caused my dad grief. He didn't understand, and I didn't care, and that's rock and roll. But once I graduated high school, I formed a band with my cousin called Trimmer, and we recorded some stuff, and eventually that kind of broke apart, and the band, Members of the Board, was birthed out of that. And from there, bands fall apart, and once that one kind of dissolved, I moved into a solo project that I started building around myself called Blood Red Summer, and brought back a drummer from Members of the Board, found some new members to be a part of, and that went strong for a couple of years, and then just kind of went up in flames, to put it lightly. And from there, I got burned out on music. I don't think I picked up the guitar for probably 2 years after that, and then a friend of mine asked me to fill in on a project, and I did, and I kind of flitted around for a little bit. But last year, which would have been 2019 in March, that's when the bug hit. Like, I hadn't gone to concerts in a while, but every time I did, I missed playing. But I didn't miss it enough to really want to do it again, because there's just a lot of baggage that comes when you become so close with a group of guys, and a lot of times when it ends, it's not pretty. And so that was something that I wasn't sure I wanted to do again. But March of 2019, we went to, Jacob, my wife Haley, and I all went to San Antonio, because Tremonti was on tour with Seven Dust, and it's Tremonti. Need I say more? But around that time, there were a lot of things happening. We had lost our grandmother to complications with a car accident, and with my dad's nonprofit ministry, we were working with a girl who was dying in the hospital from cystic fibrosis, and there were just a lot of things that I felt they were building up, and I wanted to get it out. So after that show, just something switched in my brain, and I was like, yeah, I've got to do this again. So I talked to Jacob and was like, hey, I know we've kind of talked about it before, and neither of us really wanted to do it, but I think we need to start a band. You've got some really killer tunes that I feel like they need words, they need purpose beyond just sitting there and being awesome. And so we discussed it for a while, and after we kind of came to some agreements that we're not gonna play this like a lot of guys do bands. Not just gonna start a band. We wanted to start something with purpose that we could be. It's cliche, but something we could be passionate about, that we could share, hopefully, the way we battle our inner demons with people who hear our music. Originally, when we started the band, we wanted to have fun. Like we wanted to obviously keep it serious, and we wanted something that was going to touch people, but our again, part of our agreement going in was we want this to be fun, and as soon as it's not fun, we're not doing it anymore. And that has evolved from just, writing music to using the music as a tool to help people. And that has, I can't even begin to explain how much we've heard it's helped people with our release of Mirror Mirror, the acoustic live version we did. And right now, we released that just barely a month ago, and it's reached 20,000 people, and we've received messages. We get people coming up to us after shows telling us, man, I can't tell you what that song means to me. It's stuff like that that really, it makes this worth it. And so it went from this being something to do, to have fun, and to kind of vent our problems, into being something that is, from what we're being told, it's genuinely helping people. And that it couldn't make us happier. We hate to see people suffering, but we're glad to be able to give them an outlet to kind of let go of some of that anger or pain, or whatever they're going through, and be able to get that out. Originally, when we put the band together, we started it with some friends. We had Dan Johnson and Stephen Bailey in the band, and Dan had to get a job and move away, and some things came up with Stephen's job that were going to be taking him away, and he wasn't going to be able to commit anymore. And that was tough, because originally we had talked about, if we can't all four do this, we don't know that we want to do this. And then as those things happened, they both told us, you guys have something good going on here, and it wouldn't be fair for y'all to stop just because we can't do it. And so, those guys were a huge part of forming this band. And, as Dan left and Randy joined, I wasn't quite sure about Randy. I don't know how I felt about a guy being bald on stage. And when Tanner joined the band, man, what can you say about Tanner that's appropriate or PG? No, we love the guy, and love both of them and their families. And Jacob, he was one of the motivations behind starting this band, because he'd written some songs that we had used in some various video projects, and I didn't want those songs to just die there. I wanted to take them and do something with them and share them with a broader audience. And so if it wasn't for him, this band wouldn't be here. And so, yeah, these guys are family. Their wives, their kids are family. And man, I don't know what else you can say about this group of guys other than I love hanging out with them. I love making music with them, and I love trolling them.